KHOU 11 News This Morning starts now.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lisa Hernandez.
And I'm Russ Lewis. Welcome to a Monday. It's January 29th, 6:30 is our time. And this morning we are talking all things Grammys. We've been on Facebook Live talking about your favorite moments and what stood out last night. You can hop on our Facebook page right now to let us know what you think.
And while you do that, let's check in with Brooks Garner in for Cheetah Craft with your Monday morning forecast.
Good morning, guys. We're starting off on the cool side. Clear skies, a light north breeze, and a temperature of 44 in Houston. It's 35 in Conroe. It's about 45 right now in Katy. Good morning to you there in Katy. Let's see what's going on in Brazoria. We've got 43. Friendswood checking in with 40 degrees. We are on the way today to the lower and middle 60s, maybe even some upper 60s in spots, thanks to full sunshine. A truly beautiful day. But we've got some big changes ahead. The jet stream, that's the name of the game. It's going to be warm this week, but next week and beyond, all bets are off. Do not plant that spring garden. We are not done with the freezes yet, and there could be more. Doug, how are the roads looking?
You know what? For the most part, the roads are not too bad this morning. Rush hour is starting to kick in, so you have your normal slowdowns. We have one crash slowing you down. This is on the North Loop westbound. As you approach I-45, you can see traffic backing up from I-45 to past the East Tex Freeway at this point. I'm going to give you a live look here from Houston TransStar. You can see all those taillights. This is right at the Hardy Toll Road. Give yourself an extra 15 minutes to get through this. May not necessarily be worth a detour at this point. Traffic coming inbound on I-45 is not impacted by this because this is the westbound traffic on the 610 loop east of I-45. So 1488 to downtown right now, 42 minutes. Hardy Toll Road still in pretty good shape. East Tex Freeway is slightly impacted by that crash on the North Loop. So give yourself a few extra minutes coming in from that side. You can see on the south side some normal delays kicking in as well. Guys, back over to you.
Love those normal delays. Thanks, Doug.
It is 6:33 right now. We start with our breaking news this half hour. Crews now appear to finally have gotten a handle on that big fire at a Northeast Houston recycling plant.
That fire burned for hours overnight. Our Michelle Choi is live outside her public services on Oates Road. Michelle, some good news here finally.
Yeah, guys, good news indeed. You know, firefighters first got out here just after midnight after an automatic fire alarm got triggered. But we're told that that fire is now under control. In fact, here's a good look from above. Our chopper, Air 11, now flying high to show you that scene at this moment. You can see that a lot of firefighters still out here, but there's no signs of smoke or flames like earlier. But hours earlier, a much different scene for firefighters. In fact, you could see orange flames shooting up towards the sky and roaring from the sides of the building. We're told majority of the blaze was coming from the back corner of one of the buildings, and it forced the roof to collapse and walls to buckle outwards. Inside, loads of recycling piles could be seen burning, and guys, this fire was so big, firefighters had to go into defensive mode, meaning they could only attack it from the outside to stay safe. They even had to bring in ladders and hoses to spray it down from above. Now, because this building is filled with recycling materials like cardboard, paper, plastic, things that can burn easily, firefighters are telling us it's been very difficult to battle this, but once again, they do have it under control at this point. As far as what sparked all of this, that is still under investigation. Guys, back to you.
I'm glad at least it is under control. Michelle Choi, thank you. We're tracking more breaking news now. Houston police looking for a hit-and-run driver who ran over a cyclist overnight. We're told the victim was hit by a white Ford F-150 on Airline just south of Parker in North Houston. The man is in serious condition but is expected to survive.
It's 6:34, time for your morning rush today. Texas EquiSearch crews will show up in River Oaks at about 8 this morning to look for a missing teenager. And there he is, 17-year-old Wilson Stratton was last seen at a convenience store on San Felipe at Willowick. That was 10 days ago. If you see him, please call police. A North Texas man in critical condition after a sand tunnel that he dug collapsed on a Florida beach. It buried him under 2 to 3 feet of sand in St. Augustine. Nobody else was hurt. President Trump will deliver his first State of the Union speech tomorrow night. He's expected to talk about his tax cut and also press for more military spending and an agreement on immigration. You can watch that speech right here on KHOU tomorrow night starting at 8 o'clock. Today, lawmakers on Capitol Hill will try to reach a deal to save DACA. Last week, the White House did unveil a new plan for a path to citizenship for 1.8 million Dreamers in exchange for $25 billion to pay for that border wall and other border security. And today, several Houston Rockets players will take a break from basketball to do some work out at Hobby Airport. They'll fill in for Southwest employees to welcome travelers to Houston. The Rockets beat the Suns last night 113-102, even after losing Trevor Ariza and Chris Paul to injuries. That's your Morning Rush. Lisa?
All right, let's get you guys back to the Grammys. So much to talk about, including some incredible performances. That is Miley Cyrus performing with Elton John and his classic Tiny Dancer.
This morning we have the emoji machine fired up for the Grammys last night. Want to know what you think of the show? Give us your take. Do you like what you saw? Your reactions as you press that appropriate emoji will just float across the screen in real time.
You can vote on our news app or at khou.com/vote now. And while you do that, Brandy Smith is here with the other highlights from last night's show. Hey, Brandy.
Guys, lots of highlights, including a big shout out for our local Grammy winner. The Houston Symphony picked up its first ever Grammy for its recording of Alban Berg's Wozzeck. It won Best Opera recording, in case you were wondering. And not only was it the Symphony's first win, it is its first ever nomination. As for the other big winners, we'll start with Bruno Mars. All right, that's Bruno performing last night. He swept all the big categories: album, record, song of the year, on his way to 6 awards, the most of any performer last night. Kendrick Lamar, though, wasn't far behind.
And the Grammy goes to Loyalty, Kendrick Lamar featuring Rihanna.
So that was one of 5 Grammys Kendrick picked up, including that one for Best Rap Song Performance. We can't forget about country, though. Chris Stapleton, he notched 3 wins. Little Big Town won 1 Emmy. As for the host, James Corden, he generally got pretty good reviews in his second time as host, what many considered a pretty tame show.
We will be giving out the most coveted prizes in music. This year, we don't just have the most diverse group of nominees in Grammys history, we also have for the second...
So Corden's monologue was followed up by a big number from Lady Gaga. She drew rave reviews. Look at that. Her vintage Victorian hairdo. She had massive diamond rings on her fingers. She just looked absolutely stunning and did a wonderful job. But I was having flashbacks. We were talking about this on Facebook Live to Super Bowl a year ago. Remember when she was here and she
flying off the
played
stadium.
Million Reasons.
It's been a year.
It's been a year. It's been a long year.
It's been a long year. It feels longer than that, doesn't it?
Yeah, the Super Bowl was only a year ago.
Oh, my goodness. Well, she did a great job last night.
Yes, she did.
I love they
Lots
mix
of
in the
moments.
icons, too. You got Tony Bennett out there.
Yeah.
Elton John played. Fun.
Good stuff. And we saw Beyonce and Jay-Z and the baby, Blue Ivy. Everybody looked gorgeous last night.
Beyonce always.
And she always does. I know. Brooks Gardner, I think you're the only one in the studio who didn't watch the Grammys last night, my friend.
I think I'm with everybody that's like, yawn, not impressed, not impressed. Boy. All right, let's talk about the forecast here. We've got clear skies, a cool start to the morning. Live view from the M&G Bank Tower in Houston, looking west toward the Galleria. And here's the Williams Tower. Traffic on 610 picking up. Coming up in just a moment, Doug's got to look at those roadways, tracking some accidents out there that are just popping up. 62 at noon, 67 at 5 o'clock. It'll be a beautiful day today. Bright sunshine, no rain in the forecast for at least the next 3 days. It's 39 in Huntsville, 35 in Conroe, 44 Houston, 53 in Galveston. We've got the big picture here talking about what to expect. Look at the sun starting to rise there. That's a beautiful view. Cool morning, beautiful lunchtime, pleasant afternoon. It's all about the jet stream. We'll be in a mild pattern here for the next several days. Then tracking a cold snap for early next week. That spells a much chillier time starting next week. We're not done with the freezes, but for this week, it looks like it will be very nice with 60s and low 70s before some rain for the weekend. Doug.
Okay, thanks a lot, Brooks. Looking around town, we do have some incidents that are starting to slow you down on some of your freeways. But first of all, I just want to tell you, if you're coming in from Katy Freeway, first of all, you're going to have normal slowdowns there. That's not too bad. 290, pretty much normal slowdowns there, too. You can see your rush hour delays kicking in. Now, elsewhere, we just had a crash clear on the West Loop northbound. That is slowing you down on the Southwest Freeway. When you get to the West Loop, you're going to see a few extra cars stacking up there. Not worth a detour at this point. And here's our big crash that's reported right now. This is westbound on the North Loop as you approach I-45, and it is starting to back up traffic, for instance, on the East Tex Freeway. Let's go and take a look from our Eye in the Sky.
Now a live look from KHOU 11 News Eye in the Sky.
So again, this is westbound on the North Loop at the Hardy Toll Road, and you can see a couple cars involved. You have a truck that's hit the barrier. You have the center lanes, a couple lanes blocked there. It's a delay of about 10 to 15 minutes. Not necessarily worth a detour at this point, but if you are coming on the East Tex Freeway, depending on the direction you need to go, you could get off at Cross Timbers and then cut on over to I-45 to get around this mess, guys.